Hi, welcome back to the Life Liberated channel, where we dive deep into the wisdom of wellness and how it can transform our everyday lives. Today, I want to talk about something that's essential to understanding who we are and why we do what we do. There is nothing more radical than the moment you realize that it's possible to completely rewire your brain. And today, I'm going to teach you why that's possible and how, but through a yogic concept. And it's called Samskaras. Yes, Samskaras. What are Samskaras? Well, for this particular Sanskrit word, we can think of it basically like it sounds. Think of them as some scars. In yogic philosophy, samskaras are the mental and emotional imprints left by our past actions, thoughts, and experiences. Think of them like grooves in our mind, kind of well-worn paths that we keep walking over and over without even realizing it. Or like a riverbed that's being carved across the landscape over time as water erodes the path through. They create our mental, emotional, and physical kind of default settings. They are our habitual patterns of the mind. Every time we repeat a thought, a feeling, or an action, it actually deepens the groove. The more we travel these mental paths, the more automatic they become. And that's why we might find ourselves stuck in certain habits or certain belief patterns, whether it's a fear that we can't shake or a behavior that we wish we could change, perhaps being overreactive or a people pleaser all the time. Does it sound familiar, right? Like when we react the same way to criticism or we feel triggered by certain situations, those reactions often come from samskaras, some scars, deep-rooted impressions that influence how we see the world and how we respond to it. Are you with me? Samskaras show up in our everyday life in subtle ways. Maybe you get anxious every time you get a work email, or you feel stressed when you're in a crowded place. Maybe it shows up in your behavior and your relationships, like pushing people away when you're hurting or being overly dependent on others for emotional stability. These reactions are like autopilot responses that come from past experiences. And because of that, they can feel impossible to break free from. And rightly so, these grooves can run deep, deep as canyons. But if we imagine a field with a deep, rutty, muddy path, our first step is awareness. We've noticed the path. Now we can see it for what it is, and if it's an automatic negative thought, we can see that it's time to start creating a new path. We can recognize this habitual pattern of the mind no longer serving us and realize that it's time to start working on letting this one go and creating a new pathway, creating a new samskara. Let's take a real life example to illustrate this. So imagine someone who, as a child, was often criticized for making mistakes, whether by parents, teachers, or peers. And over time, these repeated experiences created some scars, samskaras, a mental groove or habit that formed the belief in the mind, I'm not good enough. If I make a mistake, I'll be judged or punished. And this belief, reinforced over years, subtly, and sometimes not so subtly, influences this person's choices, behaviors, and emotions, even as an adult. Mentally, this person might develop a tendency towards self-criticism. They might find it difficult to start new things, feeling a constant fear of failure. Their thoughts often loop round into self-doubt, reinforcing the samskara that mistakes define their worth. Emotionally, this can lead to anxiety or low self-esteem, even in situations where they're fully capable. The ingrained fear of judgment might cause them to avoid challenges. Socially, they might hold back from speaking up or taking risks, feeling anxious, even when there's no actual judgment. Physically, samskaras can also manifest through the body's stress response. So every time they fear judgment, their body may respond with tension, increased heart rate, or digestive issues due to anxiety. Over time, chronic stress from these responses can even lead to conditions like headaches, gut problems, insomnia, or muscle tensions in the body, especially in the neck and the shoulders. Breaking these samskaras is possible, but it takes conscious effort, practicing how we can actually start to observe the mind and actually become aware of what our samskaras are, so that we can start to question these deep-rooted beliefs and create space to replace them with new, healthier patterns. We can use practices such as meditation, breath work as tools to start loosening the grip of samskaras. And with awareness and time, they can gradually move towards a mindset or gradually bring us towards a mindset of compassion and overcoming limited beliefs that once held us back. In this way, samskaras are what shape our mental, emotional, and physical experience until we become aware of them and intentionally create new patterns. And that's the key. Awareness allows us. Because this is good news. Just as the samskaras were originally formed, they can also be changed. And as I said, yoga and mindfulness are powerful tools to help us overcome these patterns. Over time, we can allow them to start to shift. And do you want to know something even cooler? Well, yogic philosophy has been traced back to the Vedas over 4,000 years ago, but it's only actually been in recent years that scientists have discovered physical evidence of this in the way of neuroplasticity. Our brain can literally rewire and reprogram itself. And again, yes, through practices such as meditation, breath work, affirmations, mantras, mindful movement, self-study, following the yamas and the niyamas, all of this means we can create new grooves, new samskaras that lead to more peace, more freedom, and a deeper sense of who we truly are. And hey, yoga might not be your thing, so you can try talking in therapy or try alternative holistic methods. Whatever you do, the point is within yourself, notice the habitual patterns of the mind so that you can start to use your free will to take your power back and work on the things that you can control and change. You. So the next time you catch yourself in one of those patterns, whether it's stress, anger, or worry, take a deep breath and remind yourself that these are just some scars, samskaras. Use the power technique, pause, observe the mind and the body so that you can move forward with wisdom. The beauty is with awareness and compassionate practice, we can literally undo all the bits that were never really ours to carry in the first place. We can start to live life liberated. Sound good to you? So next time, take a moment to just notice, is this a repeating thought? Is this a habitual pattern of my mind? We have so many similar thoughts every day, but you have the power to change those grooves. And by doing so, you can change the way you show up in the world. That's what living a liberated life is all about. Get off the beaten track in your own mind and start walking your new path. Become aware of the muddy track you're walking and start looking for a new one. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you found this helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, share, and comment, maybe even sharing with someone who might need a reminder that they too can rewire their patterns in their mind too. Until next time, keep exploring, keep evolving, and stay liberated. And if you want to learn more about how you can blend the wisdom and the wellness together with real science-backed evidence, deep ancient yogic philosophy, join me here every single week on a Friday or over on my podcast on any of your favorite provider on a Tuesday. And of course, over on Instagram, almost daily, where I am committed to bringing you so much information so that you can start to live life liberated. It's all there for you. Stick with me. I'm going to show you how.